If you're making content on one channel, we want to see it live on multiple channels. And then we want to run ads because that's what makes Google, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all these other guys happy. Then our stuff is in alignment. Obviously, we want to get as much free traffic as we can. Hey, Evan, Justin.
There we go. Hey, Dennis, how are you?
What's going on? Oh, there's Cory.
Busy day. Yeah, I think Cory's joining us. I know he's kind of like running around a little bit today.
Look at that good-looking beard, huh, Dennis?
Dude, it's like ZZ Top was offered $1 million to shave their beard, and they said no.
They said no.
You remember that?
I heard about it.
Oh, hey, Cory.
There we go. That's a bit better. What's up, Cory?
What's up, Evan? What's up, Dennis?
Hey, Cory, what's going on?
Hey, brother, living the dream, my friend, one day at a time. Hey, really appreciate you carving out some time for us today.
Absolutely. Any friend of Justin's is a friend of mine.
Man, I love to hear that. What a great dude, powerful resource, and we feel the same. So we're really thankful and grateful that you carved out some time for us. He asked me for the link earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he'll join us or not, but
He's here.
Oh, awesome. What's up, Justin? With the knee. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. All right. So let's get this party started.
Heck yeah. Turn the gas on. So Cory and Evan, did Justin tell you about our program and what we're doing and what we expect from you and what will happen and all that?
If you could just kind of catch us up on some details, that would be really helpful.
Okay. Justin, you want to go or me?
Well, I will go from an aspect of turning it over to you. So, Cory,
Okay.
You guys are already producing content. That's something that we are working on together. And now what we want to do is utilize that content in many ways to improve what we're doing in your GMB and Google ranking, SEO, to ultimately lead to more organic lead generation and sales and conversion, right? Now, Dennis is going to talk about, though, how that all looks, but on our end, it's just keeping up with content creation.
Okay, love it. Yeah, leverage what we do, right? Leverage what we're doing and turn it into productivity. So,
and Dennis, similar to the Dallas guys, Evan and Cory are both part of EXP, unlike David. So a little bit of their marketing is also agent attraction, not only, you know what I mean, that of, the residential home sales.
Okay. That makes sense. Let me share my screen. All right. You guys see this all right? Might be a little hard on your phone because it's a little smaller, Mr. Cory.
Yep. Looks good.
I want to talk about, so when you said leverage, we translate that into repurpose and amplify. So I did a little research the last few days, and Cory Williams is a tough name to SEO for. And I'll just show you. Like, I've got a few screenshots. Oops, I don't want to do a screenshot. I want to do it. So when I'm looking at the type ahead search results, and I do Cory and Co, that you don't show up here, except now it's showing me Cory Williams here, EXP, Englewood, Colorado.
Okay.
Now, when I do a search within Google, looking at the way they process entities, which is kind of saying, based on name, address, and phone, do we know who this is? Then you're going to show up here like this. So I took a few of these screenshots to show you what I'm looking at. And when I search inside Google locally for Cory and Company and different spellings of Cory and Co, there's all these other Cory and Co's. You probably know about this, right?
Not too much, my friend.
But you see why this is an issue.
Yes.
Okay. So then I do other Cory Williams, and there's all these other guys, but it's not you because I'm looking for Englewood or Denver or something in Colorado. Not there. And here's other versions. So this is you down here, but Google doesn't seem to think that when we do any search with Cory Williams or Cory and Company, doesn't seem to tie it back to your company, which is the entity. So we're trying to take all these searches and tie back to the entity of Cory and Company as your brokerage.
Okay.
And this is a little bit technical, but it's worth understanding. So I found another Cory Williams, who's a realtor in New Albany, Indiana, but that's not you.
Okay.
So you probably know a lot of Cory Williams, or, we want to dominate Cory Williams. Whenever someone searches Cory Williams, it shows up in the type head search results. It shows up in all these other places. That sounds fair, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the hub that ties together all of these things that are part of your entity of Cory and Company is usually the website. That's like 99% of the time it's the website. So when we look at the website, can I be brutally honest or you want me to be nice?
Bring it on, baby.
Okay. And I'm not sure if this is like piss off Evan or anyone else that's involved here. I'm not, I always got to be careful in case like someone gets like looks bad or something. So you have a domain rating of 1. What does that mean? It's a measure of your SEO power, the amount of juice you have. And it's on a scale of 0 to 100. And of course it varies. And, big sites like CNN might be like 92. Facebook and Google are 100. A personal blog might be like a 5 or a 10. A like national or like a Denver Post might be like a 70. A small brokerage might be like a 15. A larger entity might be like 50 or 60. So it's on a log scale. So every 10 points is 10 times more powerful than the next level, like earthquakes, right?
Yeah.
So your domain rating of 1 is basically a brand new website. And there's 65 million other websites on the internet that are ahead of you out of a billion. So technically you're in the top 6%. But that doesn't really count. Yeah.
Let's go.
And the reason why you have a DR1.
Dennis, great job.
Yeah. Still give you an A,
Yeah, that's a good caveat.
Against all the other 99% of sites that are spam sites, which is what the internet's full of. So this DR1, the amount of juice you have is because people say, well, it's so low. How do I increase it? It's from other sites that vote for you by linking to you. So you have these links, and you probably have never seen this kind of stuff because it's sort of a geeky kind of thing, but these are where people are linking to. So the way Google and social networks do the same thing, determine what site is legit versus spam is via this voting mechanism of who is linking to us. So here you're in this directory, but these are all no follow links, which means no juice is passed. And then this one, you're part of this Certus network. This has got a DR18, so it's passing you a little bit of juice, but it ranks on no keywords and it has no traffic. And then you basically don't have much else. So there's no voting for you. So on the internet, as far as Google believes, this site could be, Google basically assumes you are spamming unless proven innocent, because 99% of the sites out there are spam. So unless, I know it doesn't seem to be fair, but unless you have these signals in place and you have these links, which is kind of the heart of SEO. All these people that claim to do SEO, like 99% are bogus because they don't understand or they don't want to actually do SEO, which is driving links from high authority sites.
Okay.
All right. So you could have all the content in the world, all the features, all this other stuff, pull in MLS data, switch your website provider. Like you could do all these kinds of things, but it means nothing unless there's links that basically point to this site and vote for it. And because of that, you rank on these keywords, these 30 some keywords.
Okay. Dennis, let me explain some dynamics to you, if I may, real quick.
Okay.
My business partner on the call, Evan, we run a team called Living the Dream Team. We both have individual real estate businesses. Evan's really just getting started.
Okay.
I'm in my year, I think this is my 8th year. Okay. I have a full service marketing group that builds this website, edits content, things of that nature. And, they're like, we're a database driven website or site. And I just so you know, I pay them per deal. And I'm like, yeah, but like, what if we could freaking juice this thing up and I could actually get more deals because I have a great web presence? I'm pretty sure I heard that that's kind of, important. Just to give you an idea of sort of who manages my back end and controls a lot of the marketing that I do, editing purposes, print mail, email, database management, infographics on the website, social media platforms, etc. Okay. And then Evan and I have this team. And so it's livingthedreamexp.com.
Okay.
I think he put it in the chat there. And so I am very, very, very interested in making Cory and Company visible. What Evan has done since he was less established in his real estate career when we partnered up for this team is he's sort of integrated, and I'm going to let him take it from here in terms of like the strategy behind what he's doing and how he has built the infrastructure to position himself as part of this team and even more?
Yeah. So just to kind of add to that, this website, the Evan Backlit Homes, that one I'm not really using or pushing or doing. I created it a couple of years ago. But our main focus right now is really creating two personal brands, right? Because Cory and Company, Cory has created that brand already for himself. So we want to continue those efforts. And we're doing the same for me. But now we're leading all those efforts, for example, into agent attraction. We're leading that to this livingthedreamexp.com website.
Okay.
This website is also connected to Showcase IDX. So we do have an IDX kind of feed running in here. But we got this website through Agent Fire. And we're going to be running a lot of blogs through this, and of course, kind of transcribing those YouTube efforts and all our social medias into this, and kind of create this as the main hub for me and Cory to feed into. With that, we're obviously kind of using a lot of social media to drive traffic into this, but we're also doing a lot of events around here in Denver and Colorado for agents, for seller seminars, AHA clubs, and stuff like that. So we want to start running ads. And that's what we talked to Justin about lately is how can we start focusing our marketing efforts on agent attraction as well as homes and kind of bring it all into one hub in kind of this Living the Dream EXP website.
Kind of like our Living in Dallas friends.
Yep.
And they're a little further along with making videos and getting traffic and monetizing and attracting agents. Okay.
Thanks for bringing that up, Dennis.
No, that's a good thing. I'm never jealous, right? This is, as successful as they are, I pulled some of the top YouTubers on the planet to take a look at what they have, and they basically destroyed, what Travis and team have.
Oh, I'm sure.
But it doesn't take anything away from their success. But when you talk about people who have hundreds of millions of views and are making hundreds of millions of dollars, I mean, I get destroyed daily by billionaires, right? Look, I got a text from my buddy Daryl Isaac just 10 minutes ago, right? I sent him a pair of socks, and he's telling me all the things that I need to be doing. So there's nothing wrong with leveling up,
Yes, sir.
Like, I feel like I'm pretty amazing in digital marketing, but there's levels above me in other areas.
Yeah. So I think if, just to kind of rein this all in here, you can see that, when it comes to what Justin is helping us with and leading us is really focus on this Living the Dream team. In terms of number one, a partnership for us moving forward, this would be the primary focus. But I think, a secondary sort of focus would be, talking to you about Cory and Company. Punch that. Yeah, my man. Look at that.
There you go. One more.
Another subscriber. Are there ways to, sort of leverage both of our YouTube efforts, content efforts, focus it on this Living the Dream team, not only from, as Justin said, getting more residential real estate business, but also, and Justin says we're the hardest people to coach at EXP, but also that agent attraction and, getting some organic growth through that as well.
Wow. Yes, on any of those, but all of those is too many things. It's like you go to the buffet, choose a couple things before you fill the plate up and add these other things, because it's so much harder when you have multiple properties. Like, I would rather have one property that has 1 million visits a month than some of these other guys where it's just a few views. So you got a bunch of YouTube channels, you got a bunch of websites, you want to attract the agents, but you also want to, be the brokerage in Dallas yourself. I'd want to focus on which of these is the most powerful. And so you guys both are creating content, which is what Justin was saying. You put them on YouTube, maybe put on social media, maybe you use your live events as a way to also create content and attract people. But as you can see, not to rub the salt in too hard, but you're not getting a lot of traction here. You're getting a lot of views. You're not showing up on Google. I imagine it's going to be similar on these other social properties, right? So here's what we need to do. And this is the good news. And this is what we've taught for a long time. This is what we do. You guys produce these videos as you're doing here, and then these all get turned into articles. In other words, we're not creating content for you. We're repurposing content. We're processing the content that you already have. So each of these we can run through our teams. We have an army of VAs, and just turn these into articles that then live on your sites that both, Cory, you and Evan both have websites, but you also have this Living the Dream site too.
Yeah, it's all going to be posted there on the Living the Dream
So
website.
if living the dream is the main one,
Yeah, that's where we
I would
start.
try to focus it here.
Yep.
Now, from a user point of view, which is more of what Google's doing instead of like trying to trick the algorithm, when I look at this looks like any other random site. It doesn't, like, people by default, you have to build trust, but so you don't have trust by default. So when Google or a human sees something like this and they see this random woman who's, I guess she's a designer, maybe some kind of stock art, then they see like this couple that's doing some random thing. Then they see like this happy couple that's having some kind of consultation. This is something that we typically see when people build new websites. They just choose stock art because why not? We got to put some pictures. But in a businesses, especially B2B, like what we're doing, attracting agents and telling them about how they can grow through EXP, this does us a disservice because this is obviously stock art. These are like random people doing random things. So I would love to see Cory's fluffy beard and saying, hey, Cory here, Katja, you're on my site. Let me tell you about why being part of our team is how you're going to be a more successful agent. Because here's the other things that we do in the back end. Here's how we, promote you. And yes, we take a bit of a fee as part of EXP, but this is the team you need to join. And here's why. We provide the training, blah, blah, blah. Versus like this random woman who's, I guess, choosing what color she wants to put for these pictures of random kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you've got to have things that show your humanity. I mean, YouTube's a great way to do that. Talking about house hacking in Denver, but no one's seeing it. So the chicken and the egg is when people don't see it, you don't generate links and you don't generate engagement, which is what Facebook and Google and all these other engines are looking for.
Okay.
So that's why the SEO stats on all these sites are garbage. And that's why you don't show up here. For searches.
Hey, I got to give Evan credit though. He's already doubled my score of website. He's a 2. The website that he built for Living the Dream Team is a freaking 2 compared to my 1. And I pay a full service marketing team to run mine. So
well,
it's no credit to me because that website we finally got it up and completely launched last week. So you're totally right. It is a stock website as of right now, but we do have plans to really start customizing it and building a feel for it. Mm-hmm. So I sent you another link in the chat here. Right. So this is really kind of what we're starting to think more to start switching over to that Living the Dream website. A much more this type feel and this type style. It's just we haven't had time to get in there just yet and really start customizing to really feel like our team's branding.
Here we go. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm looking at. Yeah, because it shows that this is part of the team. There's energy. These are real people.
Yeah.
You two have your little welcome video talking about what's going on with your team and your success and how many homes you're selling and all that, how much money agents are making. I'm sure you have all that stuff in there.
Yeah.
Okay. But then how much? We got to get traffic here.
Yes. Or we got to get this one switched over to livingthedreamexp.com first. This kind of, but yes, we definitely need more traffic. That's what we're after.
And you mentioned ads, and ads is one way to do this, but I think the strategy's got to be in place first to try to touch that. So let me show you an example because we practice what we preach. I'm not just some consultant, right? I built the analytics of the search engine 20 some years ago. This is one of my sites. Freeebooks.net. I have 1 million visitors a month coming in from Google Organic. You type in free ebooks, number 1. You type in any words related to free ebooks, we're number 1. So that's how we get 1 million visitors.
Nice.
And the reason why is because we have a domain rating of 74, which is as big as any major media company.
Yeah.
And it's because we have 8.7 million backlinks, all legit. So this is the kind of thing. And by the way, if you want, this is not really within the scope of what we're talking about with Justin. But if you take some of these videos and bucket them up into, think of each of these videos as like a chapter in a book, and you put these chapters together into like the ultimate guide to house hacking in Colorado, or like whatever it is, like how to be a successful agent, or the idea of like living the dream. Maybe you can package up some of these videos, or you could record something new, like a 90-minute webinar, and we could turn it into a book. We could then promote that book and put it featured on our site and other sorts of places. And that's how you stand out from all the other teams, because you literally have the book printed out, give it to agents, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, take us under your wing, brother. Like, let's talk about, what the next steps might look like. And, as you mentioned, there's people that are as of right now, more established than us. And of course, when we refer to that, it, comes down to we're just kind of getting our footing here. So, revenue is we're building, but we would need to look at something, where we could just kind of scale up together,
Yeah.
And I don't know if that works with your business model or what, but I think I speak on behalf of both Evan and I that when you said any friend of Justin's a friend of mine, like we're just kind of we're doing what he tells us to do,
Yep. Yeah. Well, you couldn't have a better coach than Justin.
I 100% agree. So yeah, man, I mean, walk us down the path and give us an idea of, what this would look like and how you could help us get a, 75, 80 ranking and get, millions of views.
Yeah. Well, the 75, 80 ranking, that takes 15 years, but
Yeah.
But the good news is what we can do now is keep making these videos, and then our team at our cost will repurpose these videos into blog posts, into social snippets. So what we're doing is on top of what you're already doing. So don't feel like you have to stop or run things by us, or before you post stuff, put in the shared drive for us to review. I mean, we can review and give you little bits of feedback here along the way. But the main thing we want to do right now for baby steps, first steps, is let's take content that you've already made and that you continue to make, and let's turn these into articles that then live on, let's say, this main site, Living the Dream EXP.
Okay.
And as this builds out with this new thing that Evan was just showing, which is more friendly and more personal and less stock arty, then we'll figure out which of these videos and articles are getting the most traction, because Google's going to tell us, because we have, we'll have Google Analytics. We'll see what happens with the agent experience. Do they watch the video? Do they bounce on it? We'll see what's happening in the Dallas market. So, buyer seller leads, and then that will tell us. So it's all going to be a function of the quality of the content that you have. See, the beauty of YouTube, because YouTube's part of Google, is that once we get access to the analytics here, we can clearly see, like, why did this one get 179 views and why did this one only get 20 views or 9 views? And it's not random. There's always a reason why any one of these things does better than these other ones. So everything we do is really just analytics, right?
I figured the one that Evan had his shirt off would have had more views, but I guess
that's exactly what happens.
I guess it's better from the neck up, Evan, but I demand, so I don't know,
The internet keeps sourcing.
I think Cory's beard's going to be a winner, but I don't know. Let's just let the data tell us.
I agree too.
It's better than a gap in between your front two teeth, right? And that's already done well.
Yo.
Dennis, like, man, we're going there. Okay. We're on the trajectory. And so, we see a partnership with you and your firm as something that, we can grow together and build together and have great leadership, just like we do with Justin in terms of the semantics of the day-to-day in this SEO and exposure growth.
Okay. Yeah. Justin's a great coach. I'm not a coach, but I'll do some coaching. I'm an engineer. So because of the generosity of Justin, he is basically donating or subsidizing the implementation. So it's not coaching. This is implementation.
Dang.
So he's paying for the implementation. You'll pay for the ads because that's what you pay to Google and Facebook, because that's how they make their money. And this program we're calling the content engine. And you can go to here. Everything we have is 3 digits. So you go to blitzmetrics.com/CEC. So it's a content engine. And you'll see this is what happens. So you give us access. And when we have access, we're able to establish analytics to see where's the traffic coming from, where are these leads coming from, whether they're agents or buyer seller leads. We will run a snapshot report. We tried to run a snapshot report before, but we had some problems tying some things together like I showed you. So I think when we fix some of these items, we'll be able to run a proper snapshot report, which is kind of like an X-ray, if you will.
Yeah.
And then as you're making videos, existing videos and new ones that you make, we're going to pick the top ones that work. So the very best is what we call the greatest hits, which we put into this thing we call the 3x3, which are why, how, and what videos. We have training on how to do this. It's initially confusing, but then later you understand that this is just know, like, and trust. And most of it is going to be here mid-funnel, where you're sharing knowledge. That's what most YouTube should be, is sharing knowledge. So think of these 9 boxes almost as like a hamburger, where you have a bun on the top, a bun on the bottom, and then you have the meat in the middle. So most of what you're going to have is this meat in the middle, but you'll tell some stories about how you grew up and using a GoPro to go skiing, and your favorite ski resort pass to go to, or whatever it might be, or this neighborhood or that neighborhood. And then the what is just a call to action. If you're an agent, this is about who we are and join our team. Or your little intro video on watch this first. These are all calls to action. Join our webinar. Here's my book. Check out this article I have about whatever it is. Let's book a 15-minute call. This is what people understand as part of selling. But in order to sell with authority, we need a lot of these how sorts of videos. And then a why is your values, things that you care about, your dog, going skiing, your favorite place that your restaurant that you like to, Justin and I have gone out and eaten barbecue in different places, or taking the boat out on the lake, whatever it might be, showing who you are as a person.
Right.
So this is model of top, middle, and bottom of the funnel makes sense in terms of videos that you produce. Okay. And then we take your content, repurpose it, and we boost it. And we boost it using this strategy that I invented 15 plus years ago called the $1 a day strategy. And this is where we've spent $1 billion. And this works in any kind of professional services, real estate, chiropractors, mortgage, personal injury. Anytime you're selling because of a relationship, because people trust you, as opposed to, Amazon, you just one click, whatever vendor has the cheapest thing of, Tide Pods or whatever it is. Like, the services businesses are very different to sell than e-commerce. You know what I mean? Like here, I'm drinking some hint water right now, which is delicious. This is like my latest thing. I love drinking hint. Do you drink like flavored water or sparkling water? And I can buy it in the supermarket, but I go to Costco to buy this stuff in bulk because it's the same thing. So why would I just buy it all at Costco or have the maid go buy it at Costco?
Right.
But with a services-based business, it's about the relationship. It's about trust. It's about your knowledge in Denver, just like the living in Dallas people, not to like rub it in too tightly. But this is what we need you to do. You produce the content, and we will do all these other pieces to repurpose the content, transcribe the content, turn into articles. We're going to set up something we call the media room on this main website. And the media room means any article you have, any snippet that's worthwhile, where you're sharing, like, here's like 5 things you need to know about, like why Inglewood's so expensive, or I don't know, whatever it might be. We're going to turn your how-to knowledge kinds of articles into press releases. Press releases generate signals. We distribute these on 50 plus Google News syndicated sites. This is a way of not tricking Google, but letting Google know that what we have is legitimate. And that will help us increase this domain rating, because we'll have more links from Google News sites, and this will help us rank on more keywords. So ultimately it's SEO, but as part of that, as you take care of your clients and they leave good reviews, and we cross-post those reviews, they leave a good review on Google, we'll cross-post that to Facebook. Like, oh, thank you, Sally, so much. Enjoy your new home, whatever it might be. But then we need a couple people on your team, whether it's you guys, I know you're kind of getting started, or maybe you have some other, usually there's like a marketing girl, or for some reason, like a couple other marketing girls, right?
Yeah. So we do have a team of 2 VAs who are helping us produce this stuff. So Van, I've kind of brought him up to speed on that. We're going to be talking about all this stuff, and he's already starting to think about designing the website and going through everything.
Even better.
So him and Panji are like they're great. They're going to help me out a lot. Probably working with you as
fantastic.
Handle this.
I love VAs. Yeah, we have a ton of VAs. So I, as part of this, send them over to us, copy them on an email, and we will give them access to certain courses inside here in our academy.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, we have 118 courses, of which the $1 a day is do we have it under fundamental?
So when you say $1 a day, is this per kind of content that we're creating, or?
$1 a day is amplifying. It's putting ads against existing content. So it's being seen on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whatever we're choosing.
Okay. So, and it's $1 a day for all content, pretty much?
$1 a day for each piece of content for 7 days. So we're spending $7 for each piece of content to test it.
Okay, perfect. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, because we're kind of working through and creating our marketing budget this week and this weekend, just so we're can match up with what you guys need to do.
So from a budgeting standpoint, I'd recommend starting at $10 a day.
Okay.
And that will cover Facebook and Google. I mean, maybe if you guys are ready, start running local service ads, which is great for real estate agents, but it's kind of competitive in Denver.
Yeah, we tried those, and just the whole setup. Well, this was with another company that it just didn't really pan out for us, probably because we weren't ready on the SEO side and everything to kind of like lead it all.
Yeah, if you're new, so there's a couple things that people get hung up on local service ads. One is they get caught up on like uploading your license and these other pieces, because everything at local service ads is based on someone as a certification. Like it's mostly personal injury attorneys and plumbers and people who have some kind of professional certification.
Right.
So if you don't have that part in, we can't run local service ads.
Okay.
If you're able to get that part in and you go live with local service ads, if you're new, if you don't have a lot of reviews, if you have bad reviews, if your GMB profile is not filled out nicely, then LSA is going to suck for you.
Yeah.
Because LSA is auto-generated ads based on your GMB. So your underlying GMB has to be strong. So if you're relatively new and there's not much on you, you're right. LSA will just,
it won't do
because it's going to show 3 at a time, and whoever has the highest rating and the most number of stars is the one in they get clicked on.
Yep. No, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, and Denver's got a bunch of little suburbs, but unless you're up at 200 plus reviews on Google, you just don't have enough trust, even if you run ads against it.
Yeah, my Evan Backlit home, because I'm lucky, Evan Backlit is spelled even too, so no one really has that name anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's been good in that sense, kind of like using that, but I want to use that as Cory and company, but just if they are just ever going to search up my name, and I want to lead it all back to Living the Dream Team. And me and Cory, we kind of got to talk through some things and combine efforts towards that website. Yeah.
Well, you're confusing Google because Google can't tell between you and Cory and the 2 websites you have for each of you guys, and then the Living the Dream one. So I think I'm a human and I'm confused too. So I think we need to, even though you can have your personal brand, I think we have to centralize our efforts on that Living the Dream EXP site.
Okay. Yeah. Totally agree.
Otherwise, trying to build 4 different websites at the same time, you'll just end up with nothing.
I agree that with the website, but even on Google My Business, for example. Okay.
Well, GMB is a little bit different because GMB is about local services.
Yeah.
So use that for the broker, or use that for buyer seller leads, but agent attraction has nothing to do with GMB.
No. Okay. Yeah. I agree. All the efforts we do need to be centralized in that Living the Dream EXP website. Because that's where everything leads to our Calendly, to schedule time with us, to that's the one we need to get people's eyes on, because it's tailored to start, or it's going to be tailored to kind of push them down one or a couple paths that we decide for them.
Yep. Then they join, and hopefully they're, whether the average agent does 18,000, but of course it varies what kind of production you get. I know that the agent attraction piece is a separate business from your actual brokerage and, driving real estate leads.
Yes.
We do kind of have to separate those. So I'd almost ask at this point, which one's more important? And maybe we could just focus on one thing first.
Yeah. Evan and I both, the agent attraction, is our focus. I call real estate dollars temporary money, right? But agent attraction and revenue share is, something that we can pass on to generations. And so, hopefully our real estate content also attracts agents. Yeah. And the adverse is likely not as powerful, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure, our clients like to see that we're leaders and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, I think that if people see, agents see that we're experts and we're giving great advice and things like that, that they're going to be attracted to us.
Well, agents want to join a winning team. So the brokerage has to be successful first.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
The marketing, though, to attract agents is completely different than the buyer seller leads, right? B2B is totally different than B2C.
Okay.
B2C is relatively easy because we're just geo-targeting Denver suburbs and, running ads that are local service ads. GMB is all about local, but B2B requires, it's a much more difficult sale, right? Because there's more authority involved. Targeting agents is not that that's hard, but it's more difficult than just targeting consumers that are looking for homes for sale or relocating or that kind of thing.
Yeah. And I do want to point out, definitely agent attraction is like our main focus, and specifically kind of like when we're producing content, it will be geared towards there. But we do need the Living the Dream EXP website, since we do use that for our IDX feed, for example, and saved searches and stuff. We definitely need to have it, user friendly for that as well. Yeah,
I feel like it'd be a lot easier to drive you buyer seller leads in Denver, because that's a local market. That's GMB. That's what this main content engine package is. Yeah. I think we could do some agent attraction, but I think Justin and I should talk about whether we can pull that off as part of this program. Because that's just, it's a different scope. It's a lot more effort. And I don't want to make promises.
And as soon as we get the processes for the buyers and sellers and really optimize the SEO, the website's starting to do better. Then it's more tailoring some more content and some blogs and doing the same, just kind of separating.
The thing is, with a new website and you're not attracting traffic, we could do all the stuff that I just showed you that we do with repurposing content and running ads. But I don't want to take something on unless I'm very confident that it's going to drive agents and the ROI on it's good. And it's just, I'm not saying I don't want to do it. I'm just saying it's riskier when it's new. I like to take, like, our whole system is, because I'm an ads and analytics engineer, is something that's working well. We want to 10x that and get more out of it, right? Yeah. Everything I've done in my career the last 30 years is taking something that's good and get more. Yeah. Usually it's, companies that are doing 100 million, we'll take them to 50 million. Or if they're doing, or whatever, 10 million, take it to 50, 100, we'll take them to 500 million, something like that. It's tough when we're starting with something that's new, because what we really need is the momentum of the stories of these other agents beyond just YouTube, right? It's a much tougher sell.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we have that kind of momentum, it's a lot easier for us to do all the stuff that we do becomes more powerful.
Yeah. And I agree. I think we just stay focused on what you guys kind of have planned and what you guys want to bring us along on. And we're going to do everything on our side to, make you guys successful, us successful at the same time. And we're constantly working that agent attraction efforts. And then we can see kind of how we can fit that in kind of towards the end, or, when we talk about our success already. I
mean, kind of like what Cory is saying, the more successful we are in the brokerage itself, the more that attracts the agents.
Yes.
So I'd love to be able to say, hey, this is how we're doing on YouTube. Check out how many leads we're getting. Check out our process. Look at how we're running ads. Look at how we're repurposing content. Look at how, because I think the thing that the Living in Dallas team has done is that they've shown that they've blown up on YouTube by talking all this and that about every city in Dallas and the cost of living, and this area is better than that area, and here's a new home.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think we could, basically follow that model. That works really, really well.
I agree. And that's what Will and Eli, the Mile High Property brothers out here, that's what they've been doing. They've been doing neighborhood guides, talking about experiences, talking about what it's like living in Platt Park. And from that, they built a lot of organic agent attraction from that. So they've kind of grown that with it. But Cory he's producing a lot of that, but he's also our team leader. So he has a lot of real estate knowledge and a lot of knowledge to help agents come into it. So I was almost thinking about kind of structuring both our channels to hit both of those targets, where we can focus Cory more on, the agents. And he also has a series called Denver Digs where he interviews, local businesses and local coffee shops and stuff like that. So he already has that kind of lifestyle series for himself, and then focus his content on true agent attraction, what 4 things you can do before you get your license, stuff like that. And then I do more of the neighborhood guides and stuff, but all feeding into the same website.
That will be confusing to Google. Okay. I know you're trying to cram many things into one, which is, I see usually new businesses do stuff like this, which is tough.
Yeah.
I like to take one business that's doing one thing really well and scale the hell out of it, versus try to cram 2 or 3 different things into one thing. It's really a focus thing, right?
Yeah.
So for us to dominate, whether it's on YouTube or local search or whatnot, we just got to really kill it in that one area. So if you do the equivalent, like what the Living in Dallas team's done, we do it the equivalent living in Denver. I know that model will work. Like what you said with neighborhood guides and all that. Certainly, Cory has deeper knowledge that agents are going to, that we can use for agent attraction. Maybe there's a way where we could take videos that are meant for the consumer, but we run ads to it so that agents see that, or in such a way where we tweak them into articles that agents are able to see.
Yeah.
So they can see like, oh, well, geez, I'd rather be part of this team because I don't have the infrastructure to put all this content out here. Right. Wow, there's some expertise here. I wouldn't try to replicate what this team's doing. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's, I see what you're saying, kind of feeding this into the ads, into that whole idea, because, and we were talking about that too, because we are doing a lot of events and we want to be publicizing these events because we believe that we're going to attract agents face to face. You know, if we build a community here in Denver, that's going to be easier instead of funneling them through a website.
I think the more we can focus this on Denver, the easier it's going to be to win.
Okay.
Attract other agents in Denver. Denver's a huge market.
Yeah. And we get buyers and sellers at the same time too.
Yeah, exactly. Just dominate Denver.
Yeah.
All in, brother. Dennis, I think, like you're saying, maybe just strategize a little bit with Justin. And then, we can kind of talk outside of this program that's kind of, on Justin as we kind of take some steps forward as well.
Well, baby steps.
Yes.
Starting with a new site, you've got some videos. Low-hanging fruit is let's just repurpose that to the main site. I'd love if we can to repurpose to a single channel. Like, having channels after people's names is a good like personal hobby kind of thing, but for business and to send the signal, every channel has to be around one theme. So think about what that is. And if you could have Denver in the name somehow, even better. Like the two existing YouTube channels don't have any traction yet.
No.
But consider having another one. I mean, you could even just straight up say living in Denver, nothing wrong with that.
Living the dream Denver would be pretty good.
Yeah.
Living the Denver dream.
Yeah.
Okay. We gotta think a little bit. We got a big thinking weekend ahead.
I think there's more strategy components here than tactical pieces. Like this thing we're offering, which Justin's covering the cost of, is implementation.
Yeah.
But if the strategy is not right, implementation is just going to generate garbage for us.
Yeah. Awesome.
So I think, you guys should think about what exactly you want to be known for, with your strategy, right? What your content strategy is going to be, how you two are going to work together to differentiate or make content together. The other people that you've interviewed in Dallas, whether it's at events or podcasts, maybe that's more of a Cory thing. We can use that as thought leadership that ties in with living the dream EXP. But I think that at this stage, you should try to figure out how to make it very Denver specific, because there's nothing there that says Denver to me. And the content doesn't seem organized by Denver and the Denver neighborhoods and all the things about Denver.
Okay.
I lived in North Boulder for 3 years.
Whereabouts?
I was at the North Community Center. So what is that? I was on Forest Avenue.
Okay. I was at 4th and Delwood for a couple years.
Okay.
Up in North Boulder. So yeah, brother. Well, good. Dennis, I don't know if you can hear me or not. I'm on the run.
Yeah, I hear you.
Usual, but thank you. Really appreciate it. And maybe another strategy session, you and Justin will be happy to hop on with that if we talk. I think, understand from a high level what you want us to make decisions on. And so, we can kind of talk through that and then maybe send Justin back your way and then we can get this thing launched.
Yeah, let's do it. We just got to figure out a few of these details to make sure we're successful.
Yes. Yep.
Awesome.
And as Cory said, we're ready to take suggestions and kind of move along. If that means making our current YouTube channels into personal channels and then combining efforts into one main channel and putting all the focus and really creating a theme for that one. I mean, we're in and ready. That means just double content for that channel, right?
Yeah. I just think buyer seller leads in Denver. Let's just go after that.
Okay.
And from that, because that's successful, that'll drive agents.
Right. And that's what we've seen with the two other people in the city who's currently doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's plenty of room. It's not like only one team can win in Denver.
Right. Now we'll partner up with them. We already have plans to talk to them.
I don't believe anyone's a competitor, because if anything, if they're already ranking and they're already getting traffic and we co-create content with them, then exactly. Google and Facebook and all them will see the signal of us being together. Like I always want to link to other people that rank higher than me.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm really excited.
Cool.
This couldn't come at a better time either, because we're really hunkering down and doing this.
Let's do it.
I agree.
Awesome, Cory, Evan. It's a pleasure chatting with you guys.
And I believe you have my email. So if you need anything from us on our side or anything like that, I'm typically kind of handling all those. I don't think.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we have Abby that's doing project management. I'm a horrible project manager.
Okay.
Last thing you want is for me to be in operations, following up, doing support, enabling access. Like you will hate me. I'm terrible at that.
Yeah. Well, we all have our strengths.
Yeah.
Well, sweet.
Cool.
Thank you so much, Dennis.
Thank you guys. Talk soon.
Talk soon.
Bye-bye.